that's fine. It's still a good experience. You're still getting
Yeah.
experience talking to people, and that's what matters. And you're still getting your name out there.
Yeah. Uh, Go ahead,
So
Randall.
I wanted to give people like a really practical, like me personally, if I wanted to go out and get some clients this week,
Yeah.
exactly what I would
What would you
do
do?
is I would search in Google for whatever town you're in, and then search for medical professionals because medical professionals make a lot
Or
of money compared with
websites
other
too.
professions.
Yeah.
So and so like look up dentists, look up podiatrists, look up veterinarians, look up like any type of medical
Proctologists.
proctologist, whatever it is, whatever field comes first to your mind. That's what you want to
Yeah.
look for.
Proctologists, clearly.
Yeah, eye doctors, anything. And yeah, and
Proctologists.
so exactly. And so they've really got their finger on the pulse, so to
Yeah.
speak. And so
In the pulse. On the
yeah,
pulse or
and
in
so
the pulse?
In.
okay, okay. So anyways,
Sorry,
you
sidetracked.
search, yeah, you search your town name and then whatever it is. So your town proctologist. And then
Got it.
you find a list of four or
Doing
five
that now.
proctologists. Well, there's probably, and you take a look at all of their websites. Now, there's a good chance that some of them don't even have websites, but there's also a good chance that at least one or two have a really nice website. So you want
Yeah.
to write down who that is because that is who you're going to be talking about when you talk with these other people who don't have websites or have a really bad website. You're going to say, hey, I'm a local web developer. I was noticing that your competition, this proctologist and this proctologist, have really banging websites, like great pictures, and
Yeah.
your
It's very
website's
clear what they
lagging
do.
behind.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Your
was gonna
exactly.
say
website has potato
that
quality.
idea
Sure.
is really good
Yeah.
too, because I think that's the other thing. Like when you're first looking for clients, it's overwhelming. So focusing in on a specific area like medicine or like, whatever, like, people that do like I don't know, I can't think of anything else right now off the top of my head. Like restaurants or
Lawyers.
something. Yeah, lawyers, whatever. Focusing on specific industries can be also a good way to just narrow down the pool at first and make it more manageable and like actually come to instead of just like, because you can just look and make lists forever, right?
And
This is
Yeah.
generally
something where you need to do something.
they don't need interactive web apps. They need
No.
something that says what they do, where they're located, what their hours are, and how to contact them.
They need,
And
yeah, they
that's
need an
it.
Yeah.
informative website with at most maybe like, yeah, like a page that has like a contact me or something,
Yeah.
right? That's
I
it.
want I want to add a little bit to that. So Bryce in the comments said this before, but he was talking about like building, like if you don't know how to build a website, that's what ChatGPT is for. And yes, it'll help you build a website. But if you're using low code solutions, which I want to get into in a second, like what are some solutions? But what I did want to mention is for a lot of people in here, if you don't have experience with sales and things like that, getting on a phone call can be very intimidating, like calling somebody. And I have to say, like, I was on Eric's first discovery call that he did, and he did an excellent job, right? A lot of that is just breathing and being calm and understanding, like, there's a million people out there. If you totally ruin this, screw this up, that person's going to forget in a day and like no harm, no foul. Like
You'll live.
there's another
Yeah.
person to call the next day. But if you do want to sort of like avoid the tension of that a little bit, at least when you're starting, I don't recommend doing this always, but what Randall's suggesting is, you go out there and you basically take a couple hours out of your day and you start digging through websites, right? I would say use ChatGPT to make you a list of high paying businesses, like high profiting businesses, like medical professionals, like lawyers, like things like that, accountants, like people who have money to buy a website, right? Because you don't want to go after, you know, I don't know, like,
If somebody's being stingy about the website price, you say, "Okay, thanks for your time. When you're ready to pay for it, you can
yeah,
contact me." Because
yeah,
if they're being
exactly.
stingy before you do any work at all, they're going to be terrible by the time you're
Yep.
actually doing work
Yes,
for them.
absolutely. In fact, and that is a great point, is like the people who are like typically willing to pay and don't care about the details are usually the best customers. The people who want a discount are usually the worst ones because they'll nitpick everything and like, you know, like be over your shoulder as you're building the whole thing. But what I was going to say is going back to that is like take a few hours, make a list of websites, right? Like go on Google and search all those different things you looked up on ChatGPT, like all the industries and your local area, whatever that is, like your city name or like local region. look those up, look through the websites, find the shitty ones, make a list of them, make a list of their contact information. And if you don't want to call them, start emailing them, right? And screenshot their website and screenshot their competitor's website. And then what you're trying to do is basically just build some pain so they call you and give them one call to action. Make it very simple. Say, hey, so and so, I'm a web developer. I noticed that your competition's website is doing better in Google. I think there's a couple things that you can improve. It's very obvious when you look at these two screenshots. You know, this is your competitor, this is your website. If you'd like to, discuss how we can improve your website, give me a call here or email me back here, and we can schedule a time. Very simple, casual website, not salesy. Like just like, hey, notice your website blows and your competitors is great. Give me a call, and you can do that to like the whole list. Make a list of 50 of them, and more than likely you're going to get at least one person contact you back, right? And if not, you continue calling them. Like part of sales, and I've talked about this before in other live streams we've done, but I've done a lot of sales in my life, and part of that is part of the sales process is not just one and done. Like you have to contact people multiple times. So they don't respond to your email, give them a call and say, hey, John Smith, I emailed you the other day. Did you happen to get my email? I was talking about your competitor's website and how we can improve your website. Would you like to hear, how we can do that? So, yeah,
I was just gonna say no, I think that's good advice because every phone call you make, every time you reach out, that's experience. Whether it leads to a job or
totally.
not, it's experience getting over that fear that you have. Because everybody has that fear, dude, of contacting people randomly to sell stuff. No, nobody initially wants to do that, but you get over it really fast because it's not a big deal. And you're
Yeah.
reaching out to people who need the service. That's the other thing. You're finding them. That's nice. Like imagine if you needed a website and somebody came to you. That's like, like that's awesome.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing. So like everybody wants to get a job with a big company. But if you don't have projects you've done on your own, if you don't have websites that you build on your own, no company's gonna really take you on because it's a lot of risk on their end.
Yeah.
But if you've been doing this, not only are you making money making websites for other people, but then supposing, 6 months down the line, a year down the line, you want to go and apply for that job wherever, they're gonna say, do you have experience? And you'd be like, as a matter of fact, here's 20 websites that I already made. And they'll be like,
Yeah.
oh,
For
okay.
real businesses with
Yeah.
real users, right? That matters because I've spoken to so many people
Yeah.
who've done a boot camp, a university degree, had private coaching, had a career coach, had a recruiter working with them, and they still couldn't find a job. And the number one thing that I asked them, the first question is, have you built anything for real that people use? And they always are like, no, I just did all the boot camp stuff. And I'm like, that's the number one reason
Yeah.
why no one wants to hire you because you can't prove that you can even do this. Like you're just showing them a to-do app that you copied somebody else. It doesn't work that way.
Well, the other thing too is when you build real projects, you can explain them from
Yeah.
start to finish. You can explain all the things, problems you had, how you solved them, and that's what companies want to know in the hiring process. They
Yeah,
want
they
to
want
understand,
problem solvers.
yeah, yeah, what's your thought process? How'd you figure this out? What did you do when you ran into this? And if you just did like, projects from tutorials and things from boot camp, you're not gonna have any answers to that because you didn't run into anything. It was all for you, made for you, made to
Yeah.
work.
Yeah, totally. Well, we're getting to the end here. Before we sort of head out, I want to say a couple things. Number one is I want to just talk briefly about what options people can use for low code solutions. And then also, I realize that this conversation is just scratching the surface of what it takes to actually like go from, hey, I don't know how to build a website to I have a paying client now. How do I deal with this? Right. And one of the benefits of being inside our web dev incubator is that you have three coaches, the three of us here, who walk you through every step of that, right? When Eric got his first discovery call, I was like, "Hey, dude, I'll jump on that call with you, and I'll be there as like moral support and message you through Telegram so that you know the right questions to ask and like things like that." So it is tough in the beginning, admittedly, if you don't have sales experience, if you don't have experience building websites, if you just don't feel comfortable with it, which you're not going to the first time. The best thing that you can actually do for yourself is have a coach, somebody who can like give you the next step, right? Because this big thing of going from I don't know how to build a website to I have a customer and I'm building them a website and delivering it. there's a lot of steps in there, and we glossed over like a lot of that right now. And you're going to need to know that.